Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Joffrey Noodle Legs here today with something a little bit different for you. Instead of a movie review, I'm going to be doing a short sort of concert review. Because last night I did an extremely rare thing and went out. This has probably been one of the first concerts I've been into for a good couple of years now. Just a number of reasons. Um, the prices of concerts are expensive now. Mostly down to my health, because my health has depleted a lot lately. I can't really travel too far to do these sort of concerts and stand up for hours with hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. I can't take that sort of risk with my health. But this one was on my doorstep. This was at the Peace Hall in Halifax, which is about 10 minutes from here by train, and it's about 5 to 10 minutes from here by taxi. So I went there last night and I saw the Cult, who I used to go and see so many times when I was younger. I used to see them all the time. They used to play in places like Hammersmith Palais and stuff like that. So in the 80s and 90s, I used to go and see them all the time. And I've seen them a couple of times in the 2000s, but I've not seen them now for at least about 10 years, I think. So it was great to see. I was shocked to see that they were on the bill to play down the road from my house. So I thought, well, I'm not going to miss up on that. So we went to the show, and they were supported by The Mission, who are another band that I absolutely love. I've got a Mission tattoo there, just there. That's another long time band that I followed. So they were the support band. So I'm just going to be showing a couple of clips of songs in this sort of video. I didn't film whole songs. The only song I did film was one of the Cult songs, which I'll probably put in here as well. But yeah, The Mission, yeah, they did a stonking little set. They were only up about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but they did like most of their sort of like well-known songs. They started off with the Tower of Strength, which was nice but strange, because that's normally a show ending song, but they started with it last night. And they were cool, and the crowd seemed to have enjoyed it and seemed to have got into it a little bit. I think most people there were to see the Cult, but there were quite a few Mission t-shirts there, so that was quite nice to see. Yeah, so they did a stonking little set. And then it was time for the Cult to come on. Now, I must say that it was extremely well organised, this concert. Because the Peace Hall is like, it's where I go shopping. You know, it's like a shopping centre for us in around here. So if I go into Halifax, that's where we go. And so it was really weird being at like where we go shopping to see a concert of two bands that were iconic in my life. You know, to see them both. So that was pretty cool. Let's move that down so you can see the poster. So yeah, that was cool. Um, yeah, so the cult took the stage, and as I was saying, it was really well organised, and it wasn't a huge gap between the bands. It was probably about 20 minutes to half an hour, which was great because sometimes you're waiting an hour, and it's just like, oh, come on, get on with it. And by then you've had enough. But yeah, it was a good turnaround of bands, and the sort of toilets were really good. They had like about 100 toilets, 50 either side, and I'm just thinking, wow, that's really really cool. So people weren't hanging around queuing for toilets; it was in and out. So it's quite cool. And there was a lot of eateries and bars and stuff like that there. There was a merchandise store, but I didn't get to go there to have a little look, just because I don't know. I just did get a chance to have a look. But yeah, on comes the cult. And I have to say that the cult are absolutely technically professional. They were absolutely fantastic. Um, they were just so on their game, if you know what I mean. They were just brilliant. Ian Astbury hasn't. He's 60, and you wouldn't believe it. He's like exactly like he was when we used to see him back in the day, and his voice is phenomenal live. Really, really cool. Really great voice. And they did a couple of tracks that I really love. They did Spirit Walker, which is one of my favourite songs of theirs, and they did a song called Phoenix. Yeah, so they did those, and they did a few classics. They did their songs like Rain, and they did Wildflower and Love Removal Machine. So they went through a few of the hits, She Sells Sanctuary, and things like that. So it was really, really cool. They didn't do Firewoman, which I was a bit surprised. So yeah, but they did most of their big hits, but they've done some tracks off the new album, obviously because they're still a recording band. I think they had their album out not so long ago, might be a year or so ago, I'm not sure, but they played some songs from that, and then they treated us to Ian Astbury being on fine form. He's such a great showman, and he's got a real stage presence, and he's still got that, and he's absolutely fantastic. Here's a Cult now. Here they are. They're singing "Little Devil." So that was the only song I recorded in whole, pretty much, because I know it's only a couple of minutes long, and I thought, because I was quite far back, I'd holding my phone up like this to get, and I just thought I don't want to be annoying to people behind me, and also it hurt my arms standing there. So I just got a few clips from there. But yeah, absolutely fantastic concert. They went on stage, must have been about sort of I would have said about 9:15, something like that, and they were off about 10:15, half 10. They did about an hour and a half, and I said, and the Mission did a 45-50 minute set before that. Excuse me. There was another support band whose name I've never heard of them, so I didn't rush to go to see them. The doors opened at 6. I arrived about 7:20. About as soon as we got in, after we queued up to get in, and they checked everything, the bag, security, and that got in. I just had a look around, and then the Mission were coming on stage. I thought, I couldn't have timed it better. So that was great. So we went straight down to see the Mission, and then obviously had a break in between, and then went back and found a spot for the Cult, and it was great. The weather held out. It didn't rain. It wasn't hot, and it wasn't cold. It was just a nice evening. It was just a pleasant evening. It was a bit sunny when the Mission were on, but obviously as the evening approached on, it came a bit more, even more sort of cooler, which was nice really when you got lots of people. It was an event you didn't need your coat, and it was nice to be in an outdoor event where the weather held out. People seemed to enjoy themselves. The crowd were quite cool. They were quite nice. There were some people. It was nice to see a gathering of sort of like goths and sort of like that kind of people, a few rock people, all in one place. Plus, there was quite a few normal sort of types there, if you like. You know, the sort of normal types. Like I had next to me an old boy with grey hair, and his wife with grey hair, and she was dancing to all the sort of to all the sort of famous cult songs, but all the sort of like fan favourites. She just didn't know them, so she's obviously someone who's got the greatest hits. So yeah, it was good. But at least they were there and having a good time and enjoying themselves. I didn't see any. There was no problems, no trouble. There was no really absolutely pissed up people, which was good. I'd never seen the point in that. Going to concerts, getting absolutely jarred up, and then can't even remember what you've seen. But there we go. But it was a great concert. Really, really cool. And it was great to get out again. And it's a great venue. It's a really, really cool venue. The sound was pretty cool. So I'll be keeping my eyes out for any more concerts there, especially when it's close to my home. You know, I can't go to concerts that are too far away, like in Leeds, Manchester, and things like that. It's just not good for me and my health and stuff like that. And then I struggle getting back home. But this was perfect for me. So please, can more bands play there? Thanks for watching, guys.